everyone, I just wanted to come on live with a new way to look at recruiting. So I was having a conversation with a couple of people who are working to promote to director yesterday evening, and I kind of thought of this and it seemed to be really helpful, so I thought I would share. Before I share this kind of new way to look at it, the first question I had to ask this person I was talking with, because she told me, she was like, I'm just terrified of recruiting. I'm just so afraid. I put it off, I put it off, I put it off, and I'm just too afraid to ask the question or to bring up the topic, and it's on my list to do, but I just can't bring myself to do it. And so I asked her, I was like, well, why are you afraid? And she couldn't really answer, but you could tell she just was like kind of pent up about it. So of course she's working to promote to a director. Everyone in this group, you're already a director, but I think all of us get into this point sometimes where we all are kind of afraid of coming off as pushy or coming off as being afraid of offending someone, or, we just don't want to step on anyone's toes. And I think all of us, even myself, like feel that way sometimes when it comes to asking people about the business opportunity or joining your team. And so I kind of pointed out all those reasons to this girl last night, and I could tell she was almost to the point of crying because I hit the nail on the head. So we're honestly, when we get to this point where we become afraid to talk about recruiting with someone because we're afraid of being pushy, or we're afraid of coming off the wrong way or offending someone, we have just made recruiting about us and about how we feel personally about asking them. And at the end of the day, our job and our role when it comes to recruiting is to simply offer the gift that we have of Pampered Chef to someone else. And so if we withhold that gift from someone, we're failing at our job, and we are withholding the possibility of someone's life being able to change. I can't imagine if Ellington had not recruited me and she had not asked me, my life would be totally different. And I'm so thankful that she asked. And so the thing is, when it comes to recruiting, like, you have to think about this for yourself, and you want to train your teams on this, is it is not about you 1%. It's not about you at all. And if you make it about you, if you have made it about you, if you are afraid of asking them because you're afraid that you're going to offend them or annoy them, you have just made recruiting about you. We can't do that. Recruiting is not about us. When somebody joins our team, why is it exciting? It's exciting because that person has all these rewards in front of them that we get to help them earn. And this person now has this opportunity to be earning literally thousands of dollars a month. And so that's why it's exciting when someone joins our team. So we have to get over that fear and get over the point of making it all about us and our fears, and making it all about the person that we are working with to recruit. So that is very important to keep in mind, and I have to remind myself about it every single day, because sometimes I still get nervous about asking someone about the business opportunity or planting a seed. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to send this message. Hold your breath and hit send, people. Just do it. Like, it's not about you. Get over yourself and send those messages, okay? So that's the first thing I have to say. Now, the second thing that I want to say about this new way to look at recruiting is looking at it in the sense of gardening. So the spring season is coming, right? I live in Oklahoma, so it's kind of warm. I know it's going to snow again, but whatever. The spring season is coming. So if any of you have ever gardened before, I don't have a green thumb, don't judge me. But if you've ever tried to take an actual seed and plant it, if you've been successful, hats off to you, because that is a difficult thing to do. But when it comes to recruiting, have you ever just planted a seed and then walked away and you're like, grow, join my team, grow, but you don't water it, you don't check on it, you don't look at it, you just literally put the seed in the pot and put it next to a window and you're just staring at it to see what happens. Is your flower gonna grow? No, it's not. It's the same thing with recruiting. You can't ask one time. You can't ask your host one time. You can't ask your guest one time to join your team and hold your breath and hope that they grow and join your team. Not going to happen. All right. So you plant the seed with your host, you ask the question with the guest, and then you ask again. And then you bring it up again. And then you ask a different way. You bring up the topic a different way. And every single time you bring up the topic, you are watering the seed. Okay, you have to water that seed several times. And sometimes that seed is going to grow and it's going to work and it's going to blossom into a flower that joins your team. But if you don't water it, heck no, it's not going to magically bloom into a flower and join your team, maybe 1% of the time, but it's not going to. So the point is, you have to ask multiple times, and I want you to think back, and I want you to help your team members think back to when you were being recruited, how many times did your recruiter have to ask or bring up the conversation until you finally said yes? They probably had to talk to you 10 to 15 times back and forth, whether that was in person or just through Messenger. They probably had to ask you or have a pretty long conversation about it, 10 to 15 messages 2 ways, until you finally said yes. And I want you to picture they watered your seed 10 to 15 times. So are you watering the seeds that you're planting? And are you being brave enough to hold your breath, push send, and plant the seeds with these people? So anyways, that's kind of something that I kind of thought of last night when I was talking to this girl, and I really hope that that is helpful for you guys. Go recruit everyone this month. Go change a bunch of people's lives, okay? Hold your breath, hit send, and be a great gardener of recruiting. Okay, bye guys.